My name's Daniel Roy, and today I'm going to demonstrate 10 levels of cheating at poker. If you want to see me perform live in New York City, you can buy tickets to my show on my website, and if you want to learn magic, check out my online course, Card Magic 101. Links are in the description. Level 1 of cheating at poker is a technique called playing heavy. Now, a lot of people haven't heard of this technique, so I will give you an example. I'm going to deal out 2 hands of poker, one to my opponent and one to myself. Let's see what happened. I dealt my opponent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, as you should, but I dealt myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I secretly dealt myself an extra card, so my hand is heavy. That's why it's called playing heavy. Now, obviously, you just hold your cards bunched up like this so the other players can't tell, but having that extra card vastly increases the probability that I'm going to be dealt strong poker hands because I literally have an extra card to play with. Now, level 2 is what's called the glimpse. Basically, I will just look into the cards as I shuffle them, and I will look into the cards as I cut them as well, and this allows me to sight certain cards. So, for example, I know what the top card of the deck is now. I know that it's the 7 of spades. Indeed, it is the 7 of spades. Now, obviously, this is a pretty crude technique because I'm having to literally look at the faces of the cards during the shuffle. It's very suspicious. Level 3 is a technique called shuffle tracking, where I can keep track of cards in the shuffle, but I don't have to actually look at the faces of the cards as I mix them. So right now, I know that the next 7, the 7 of diamonds, is exactly 12th from the top. Let's check. Yep, exactly 12. Nailed it. Now, level 4 is a technique called dead cutting. To dead cut means to cut to a specific spot in the deck, but by feel. So instead of just counting down 12 cards, using only my sense of touch, I will attempt to lift off exactly 12 cards. That feels like 12. Let's see how I did. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But this doesn't mean anything unless this 12th card is the 7 of diamonds, and indeed it is that 7 of diamonds. Now, level 5 is called a cull, spelled C-U-L-L. And culling a card means to move it from a known position in the deck up to the top. So, for example, the next 7, the 7 of clubs, happens to be 39th from the top, right about here. And I can't move it to the top by just counting through the cards. That's way too obvious. Instead, I have to do it by shuffling. So, watch closely. I'm going to give these cards a series of cuts and shuffles like so, and hopefully I should have been able to move that 7 of clubs from the 39th position up to the top of the deck. Now, this is all well and good, but I've just been moving these cards up to the top. I haven't been getting them into play. So for level 6, we'll turn to the game of Texas Hold'em. It's the most popular version of poker played these days. And in Texas Hold'em, each player is dealt 2 cards, and then there are 5 community cards that are dealt face up on the table. The first 3 cards are called the flop, the 4th one is called the turn, and the 5th one is called the river. And any player can use many of these cards in their poker hands. Now, for the time being, we're only going to focus on the flop. If you can control which cards land on the flop, it is comically easy to win at Texas Hold'em. So I'll use these cards to illustrate the 7 of spades, 7 of diamonds, and 7 of clubs. I will try to position them for the flop. So I'll start by putting them in 3 different parts of the deck so you can see how they go widely separated in the deck. And I will attempt to position these cards to land on the flop by stacking the deck. That's level 6. Position those for the flop. So here goes. I'm going to give these cards a few shuffles, and I'm trying to stack for a 5-handed game of Texas Hold'em, and all good shuffle sequences should end with a 1-handed cut. Now it's time to deal. I'm going to deal out a 5-handed game of Hold'em. And before you deal the flop, you have to burn a card, which just means placing a card aside. So now the flop is these next 1, 2, 3 cards. Let's see how I did. With any luck, these should be the 7 of clubs and the 7 of diamonds and the 7 of spades. Now, level 7 is controlling your pocket cards, the cards in your own hand. Now, if you can control the flop, there's really no reason to deal yourself a hand like pocket aces. I mean, I did deal myself pocket aces, but it's really totally unnecessary here. Now, level 8 is to control the turn and the river. The reason that these are so difficult is because you have to burn a card and then deal the turn, and then burn a card and deal the river. So in those stacking shuffles, I had to weave cards in between these. Luckily for me, these both happen to be aces, giving me a pat hand of 4 aces. Now, I can stack myself the 4 aces all day, but I'll never win any money because there's no incentive for the other players to bet. If I want to get the other players to bet, I'm going to have to stack them some good cards. So that is level 9, controlling the other players' cards. So I will start by cutting those 4 aces back into the middle of the deck like so. And I'm now going to try to stack the deck for a game of 5-card draw poker. It's a much more old-fashioned version of poker, but it'll be easier to illustrate this level with draw poker. So here goes. Now in draw poker, I should mention, you always pass the deck to your right to be cut. Now, you don't know it, but this guy sitting over here, he's my partner, and he cuts the deck for me at exactly the right spot. Now it's time to deal. So I will deal out 5 hands of 5 cards each. And during those shuffles, I wasn't really concerned with mixing the cards. Rather, I was trying to reposition the cards to stack them for a game of draw poker. Let's see how we did. I believe I stacked this first player almost a flush. Now, a flush is 5 cards of the same suit, so almost a flush would be 4 cards of the same suit. I think I gave this player 4 heart cards, and with any luck, yep, that should be 4 heart cards. Now this next player got a 2 pair, 2 queens and 2 tens. Let's take a look. That should be, yep, 2 queens here and 2 tens here. Now I stacked this player here a very strong hand, 4 of a kind, 4 deuces, and there they are, all 4 twos. And my partner over here, I only managed to stack him a pair of jacks for now, but yep, there they are, a pair of jacks. And for my hand, well, we'll get back to my hand later. Now, level 10 is controlling the draw. See, in draw poker, players are allowed to discard cards from their hand and draw new ones from the deck. This means you have to contend with the unpredictable decisions that players make. So theoretically, this would be impossible, but let's give it a try. And by the way, if you know how to play draw poker, comment down below the decisions that you might have made in these situations. So let's take a look at this first hand here. We've got 4 heart cards, so this player's probably going to discard the 8 of spades here, hoping to get another heart. And lo and behold, there's the King of Hearts completing this flush in hearts. Now this player with 2 queens and 2 tens will probably discard the 3 here, hoping to get another 10 or another queen. The preference, of course, would be for a queen. And look at that, a queen of hearts, a full house now, queens and tens. The player sitting on 4 deuces will probably just sit tight. And this player over here, my partner with just 2 jacks, well, he would probably discard these 3 cards, hoping to get another jack. Let's see what happens. That's 1 ace, 2 aces, and 3 aces, making a full house of aces and jacks. And I will just discard 1 card. See, I'll let you in on a little secret here. The player sitting over here, he's not my partner. He's just another sucker who I'm taking to the cleaners, because he really should have discarded one of those jacks to get a 4th card, because if he had, he would have gotten that 4th ace. But much more importantly, he would have prevented me from getting the best possible poker hand, a royal flush. That is, the ace of spades, the king of spades, the queen of spades, the jack of spades, and the 10 of spades. And that is 10 levels of cheating at poker. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel and following me on social media. If you want to see me perform live in New York City, you can buy tickets to my show on my website. If you want to learn magic, check out my online course, Card Magic 101. I also offer private lessons to students of all levels. Links to everything are in the description, and I'll see you next time.